Gary Morley wants to know how many wives can a Muslim man have under Sharia law?
He can have as many as he can,
Pay for?
yeah, as many as he can provide for.
It's true that our religion has allowed a man to marry more than one woman. But it's not just our religion. I mean, this is a well-known fact that many cultures and many societies, and in fact, to this day, there are many countries where this is legal, not necessarily Muslim countries. I was in South Africa last week, and their president has, I think, 3 wives.
Yeah.
And this is the president of South Africa, which is a very modern Western country. What our religion does, and it's really logical, is that if it's possible and capable and everybody is fine with it, then it is permissible for a man to take on more than one woman with certain conditions. This is what our religion has said. And once again, it's not a necessary requirement, it's just an option. And contrary to popular opinion, the vast majority of Muslims have one wife, and that's the way things are, and they're all over the Muslim world. I would say off the top of my head, maybe 90–95%. All over the Muslim world, the vast majority, basically one wife, one husband, everything's fine. If a person finds this, culturally he doesn't want to do it, sure, go ahead. It's not necessary to, not at all. You're not any better Muslim if you have 2 wives or not. Your Islam is not affected. You don't have to. It's not even necessarily encouraged or discouraged. It's a neutral thing. If you want to, and there's a legitimate, reason and cause, and you are justified in making sure you're going to take care of them all equally, it's an option that is available if circumstances are appropriate.
Now, if we even go rationally, because we're trying to solve problems of the world, who would know best how to solve these problems? The creator of the heavens and earth, wouldn't he?
Exactly. Yeah.
Now, if you just think about it, there's an excess of women. There are.
We look to the law to find out what was sin. And we see that under the law, under the Old Testament, that polygamy was never banned. And not only so, it was regulated. You see, for example, in Exodus 21:10, it actually says, if you take another wife, her food, her raiment, and her duty of marriage shall he not diminish. That's right there in the law under the legalism. That's a regulation of polygamy. There were numerous polygamists in the Bible. Numerous. Moses himself, who wrote the Adam and Eve story, who wrote the one flesh verse of Genesis 2:24, who wrote thou shalt not commit adultery of Exodus 20 verse 14, the 7th commandment, and wrote the polygamy regulating verses. Moses himself had 2 wives. David had numerous wives. He had 8 known named wives. In fact, when David was being reproved for taking another man's wife, God sent a prophet to him, according to 2 Samuel 12:8, and get this is what God said in 2 Samuel 12:8 to David. I gave you all your wives.